cracking gamers, it's your boy Xiiphos bringing you guys another Apex Legends video, and today I'm going to be ranking the legends in the game, going over who you should be using, who you should be not so using, and just talk about what all they do. And I'm finally making this video now because I have unlocked all the legends in the game. I think once you hit like level 46-ish or something, you can get all of them if you don't spend any real money. And I'm level 49 now in the game, so I've unlocked everybody. I've used them a little bit, and I've come to a conclusion of who I think is all really good and not as good. So we're going to get right into it now. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more Apex. I'm posting a few times a week, trying to get better and more consistent, but yeah, so we're just going to get right into this now. And at number 8, we're going to have Caustic. So everything about Caustic pretty much revolves around his gas traps that he can set up, which are not awesome, to be honest. I think if they were a little stronger, then he might be okay, but he's just really not that great all around. So his passive ability, he can just see people through his gas, which is kind of nice. It's kind of like a little smoke screen for him that you can see through, and also does a little bit of damage, so it's a nice little bonus to basically a smoke screen. But you can place up to 6 of them at once, which is not too terrible. And then his ultimate ability, it blankets a large area in the gas, and it's really not all that big of an area. Yeah, it's just not too great overall for Caustic. At number 7 though, we now have Pathfinder. Pathfinder, he's fun to use. I don't know, like, he's just not great, but he's kind of fun to use every once in a while. And he's kind of got an annoying voice, so that's another reason I don't really use him. But that's not going to be going into the ranking process. It's just a little outside piece of my thoughts, I guess you could say. But his passive ability is kind of cool. It doesn't do too much for you. It's not that important, but you can see where the next zone is after the one it shows already by like scanning a little satellite that you can find in certain areas of the map, which is cool, but it's not that great, as I said before. And then his L1 is a grapple. It charges up pretty fast, which is nice, but you can't hook that far with the grapple. Like, just a few meters honestly is all you can reach, so it's not crazy good. And then his zipline gun ultimate ability is pretty nice, and that charges up pretty fast too. But again, it just isn't all that useful for most situations. Like, sometimes you can get to places faster, maybe get out of the storm, but overall you just don't need it in a lot of situations. It's just kind of something you can throw down for fun. So that's why I got Pathfinder at number 7. Now at number 6, we have Gibraltar. Now, I don't know, Gibraltar is pretty good, and like, he feels really strong and I'm using him, but I also feel like he has a big hitbox and he's really easy to kill. I'm not sure if that's actually true, but he's a really big dude and he just feels really easy to kill every time I come up against him. And he also feels a little slower. Him and Caustic feel really slow, and I'm not sure if that's actually true as well, but yeah, they just feel slow and bulky to me. But with Gibraltar, his passive is a little gun shield. Like, if you played Rainbow Six Siege, you'll know Blackbeard has that little shield over his gun, and it's basically the same thing. It just covers his chest, which is pretty nice, but it's really not that hard to avoid as well. You still hit him in the head and in like the legs, which does the same damage as the chest, so not that big of a deal with the shield, but it can be nice sometimes. And then his L1 is a little dome of protection, it's called. It's like a little half circle shield that goes around you, and it's just up for 15 seconds. But honestly, it feels like it's up for quite a bit of time to me. It's nice if you're going for like a revive or something, or just trying to heal. But you can't shoot through it, and they can't shoot through it. Yeah, just basically a wall around you, which isn't too terrible, but there also could be better abilities. That's why he's only at number 6. And his ultimate ability is actually really good. It's basically Bangalore's, which is like a more common used one. That's why I'm making that reference, but it's just like, honestly, like 3 times better than Bangalore's. So you'll know both of them have like the rocket strike, I guess, that comes in from the sky. Bangalore's is like delayed and it only does 20 damage. It's better just for like scaring people off. But Gibraltar's does 40 damage and it comes in really quickly, so it's hard to escape if you're right in the middle of it, and it does a lot of damage. So honestly, it's really, really strong. It's one of my favorite ultimate abilities to use, but I just don't use him that much because, yeah, I don't know, he just feels slow to me, and I like feeling faster with the other people that I'll talk about a little later, because I like playing really fast-paced and aggressively, and I feel like Gibraltar is just more of a defensive guy, which is fine if that's your playstyle, but he's just not really for me. Now at number 5, we're going to have Mirage. Now, a lot of people do like Mirage a lot, but honestly, I was a little disappointed with him. I bought him before Caustic, and I think that is a better choice, but I was still a little bit disappointed with Mirage. So, his passive, he just automatically drops a decoy, and he goes invisible when he's knocked down, which is nice because sometimes it throws me off when I'm trying to finish a Mirage, and I'm like, oh, that's just his hologram, and I don't know where he actually went. But really not that big of a deal unless you're dying a lot, which I never do, just kidding. But then his L1 is a little decoy that just runs in a straight line, and you can kind of send it where you want to. It charges up really fast, which is nice, and you can definitely psych some people out a lot, which is also pretty nice. That's probably my favorite of his abilities, because his ultimate honestly kind of disappointed me a bit. It sounds really cool. So it's called the Vanishing Act, and its description is Mirage deploys a team of decoys to distract enemies while he cloaks. You think, oh, there's a bunch of decoys running out while he's invisible. But none of the decoys move, they just stand there in a circle, and then while he's invisible, you can still see him a little bit, and you can't have your gun out. So I was a little disappointed by that. It's not a terrible ult to like escape, but you can't use it aggressively at all like I was hoping you could. So that's why I have Mirage at number 5 here. Now moving into the top half of the list, because there's only 8, and now we're in the top 4. I'm going to have Wraith. Now I was really debating whether I have Wraith or the number 3 spot in this order, but the more I thought about it, the more I realized Wraith honestly doesn't do anything all that crazy. I think her best ability might be her passive, and it tells you when people are aiming at you, so like, you know when to take cover and stuff, which is nice because you really can't get like jumped by people very well because you know when they're about to fire at you. Then her L1, she goes into the void. It's like she goes into a different dimension, and you can't see her, and she can't see anything else except where she's going on the map. And the thing about this though, they can still see your trail pretty easily, so if you're going against someone that knows what they're doing, it's not really like a camo, it's just kind of a way to take cover without them being able to shoot at you while you're doing so. But if you're playing against noobs, it can definitely be a really good way to get behind them, because they don't really know to watch your trail, and they don't know where you're going. So that does work sometimes. And then her ultimate, she can place a rift. Yeah, you just link 2 locations together, and you can go from one place to another really fast, which is pretty cool for like your teammates to catch up to you and stuff, or just to escape or get behind the enemy. It can be used a lot of different ways, honestly, but I think the number 3 spot is just going to be a little bit better overall. And at number 3, I have Bloodhound. So Bloodhound's passive, it's called Tracker, and the enemies like leave behind clues like where they were, like where they killed somebody last, and you can just kind of track them that way. I don't know, I feel like sometimes it helps me find people better, other times it's just kind of some stuff to look at for fun, because it usually doesn't help a whole lot. But yeah, sometimes for sure you can definitely find where people are going and stuff. Then his L1 tactical ability, well, I'm saying L1 because I'm on PlayStation, but it's not always L1. Yeah, his tactical ability is called the Eye of the Allfather, so that's pretty much like a vision pulse if you played some Call of Duty games. You like scan a small area and it shows you where closest enemies are, and it tells you how many enemies there are too, which is nice, but it's a really small area and it doesn't show them moving, it just shows like where they were at the time you scanned, so you don't know if they've moved, like where they're at now. But yeah, it's pretty nice just to know like how many people you're coming up against. And then his ultimate ability is called Beast of the Hunt. Like, your whole screen goes black and white, and you can see like red footprints, and the enemies show up as red. So that's pretty cool, and you move a lot faster as well. So that's definitely a good ult ability. And I do like using Bloodhound sometimes, but if there's not a lifeline, then I'm take care, because spoiler alert, that's what happens number 1. But yeah, we're going in to the top 2 now, and top 2 here, number 2 is Bangalore. So Bangalore is my favorite, and she is who I main most of the time. I have like almost 600 kills with her now, and second most is Wraith, and I just got over 100 kills with her, so definitely use Bangalore the most. But the reason I have Lifeline as number 1 is just because you kind of need her on the team, but I'll go more into that later. So Bangalore for now. Her passive is my favorite from her again. She moves like twice as fast while you're taking fire for a little while, so you can like escape or like flank enemies faster. And if you pair that with your smoke launcher, which is your tactical ability, you can get behind people without them knowing that you're even close. Like, I can surprise so many people with that. I play super aggressively in this game, so that's why I like Bangalore. But some people just don't play that way, and that's totally fine. Not hating on any other legends, but Bangalore just suits me the best, and she suits a lot of people more because she's probably the most popular to use like among streamers and stuff. But then her smoke is her tactical ability. It charges up pretty fast. It's just nice to take cover or to rush people without them knowing. And then her ultimate ability isn't all that great. It's the one I was talking about earlier with Gibraltar, but it's like an artillery strike that, like, you can see all the rockets that come in and then they explode after. So it's pretty easy to escape, but it just kind of scares people off, and it's a way to like kind of control where the enemies are and stuff. So that's basically how I use it. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage to them, but sometimes you can get lucky and get a knock or some damage on them. And now at number 1, we have Lifeline. So Lifeline is just really good for the team overall. Her passive, you can revive people faster, and you get a little shield around you, and you can also heal yourself faster, which is really nice. And then her tactical is the heal drone. You can heal people nearby, and yeah, you can pretty much just get them up to full health or something if you don't have many meds. And then her ultimate, she can call in a care package. It's not going to give you like the Cravers or the Mastiffs, but it's like a good, what am I saying? Yeah, it's a lot of defensive gear, as it says. You get like helmets, backpacks, maybe armor, stuff like that can help you out for staying alive. But it doesn't drop the legendary weapons like the other care packages do. So that is my top 8 specialists. Just to recap again, we have Caustic, Pathfinder, Gibraltar, Mirage, Wraith, Bloodhound, Bangalore, and Lifeline for my order. Let me know in the comments who your main is and who your favorites are to use. I think I'm putting up a 24 squad kill gameplay over this. It was pretty old gameplay, but it was just a good one overall for the team. So hope you enjoyed the gameplay as well. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys later.